Well, good evening, and good morning, viewers wherever you are, and welcome once again to Africa 24. And this is Muzalendo, and a lot has been happening. Sorry, we've not been around for quite some time now. We had got a few itches here and there, but believe you me, we'll be back on air on a daily basis so that we can bring for you your favorite political talk shows. Well, a lot is happening in the Kenyan political scene, and it seems like the state is now cracking the whip. The state has just begun cracking the whip. They started with Gashagwa, and now they are on Natembea. Tonight, we look at the issues around Natembea, and we will just dissect the growing storm around one of the Kenyan's most outspoken governors, George Natembea of Trans Nzoia, from fighting uh, for his people, fixing hospitals, to suddenly facing a 6 million graft case in a 6 million graft case is under attack for doing is he under attack for doing too much for his people, or for saying too much. Welcome to Africa 24, where the truth has no filter. Now we begin by the raid on George Natembea and what you feel about it. Let's begin by who is this George Natembea and why the government is really interested in him. Natembea is facing criminal charges linked to uh, companies, links to companies tied to his family associates, where they awarded county tenders worth 6 million. And Natembea pleaded not guilty, and he was released on a bond of I think it's 500,000. Yes, and strongly denies any wrongful doing. Now, what is raising eyebrows in this timing? Uh, this just comes days after local MCAs accused the state agencies of frustrating development agenda in Trans Nzoia County. And at one point, you had stories whereby uh, the leadership in Trans Nzoia were planning to impeach the governor. He's been very, very vocal on Ruto's government, and is seen as a strong challenger to this Kenya Kwanza government, especially in Western region, where he's trying to consolidate the votes of Western people. Now, the pattern is the same. Exactly what happened to many people who are anti-government. Remember the issue of the Gen Zs, the crackdown on the Gen Zs, and now they have gone to leaders. So William Ruto's government is cracking down on any critic that is criticizing the government, and is using the EACC to trump up charges against anybody who is against his government. So Natembea was dramatically arrested and handcuffed and taken to jail, but he was released later on a bond. I think this is very, very sad. You remember also the pressures on governors like Kawera Mwangaza. These things have been going on for quite some time, and we need to really talk about them and see whether this is the right direction that we need to move as a country. I think we have got freedom of expression, freedom of association. Natembeya lately has been associating himself with Rwan Rigiji, who is not in good books with William Ruto. And Natembeya says that he's not a pushover and he will not kneel to survive politically. We have entered this season where people are thinking of 2027. The state is uncomfortable with independence of thought. Yeah, if you are not singing to the tune of William Ruto, then you are going to have trouble with the system. The system will turn against you. So this is the power struggle for 2027. So this is not just about courtrooms. It is also about the road to 2027. Natembeya is being watched not just in Trans Nzoia, but across Western Kenya. A region eyeing for the presidency and eyeing for unity in 2027. And Natembeya is being seen as the leader who can unite the Luya. Remember, we have got Wetangula, who is the speaker, and Mudavadi, who is the prime cabinet secretary in Kenya Kwanza government. Now, Natembeya is being seen as a more youthful, and the youths are rallying behind his performance-driven leadership. Now, rumors of a new opposition in that stronghold of Raila Odinga. You remember, Western has been a stronghold for ODM, and Natembeya is indeed grabbing that from ODM. He's not just a governor; he's a symbol of unity and fearless leadership among the Luya community. That is why they fear him. And he's also independent and he's delivering. That is another thing that you have to know. He's delivering. So, in terms of accountability, he has been accountable. He was number one. The Constitution guarantees also fairness, equality before the law, and freedom from political persecution. But is the state applying the law selectively? Yeah, is the state applying the law selectively? If you are a human rights lawyer up there, please jump into this discussion or leave a comment there to tell us whether the state is applying this law selectively. We need a national conversation around this particular issue, and we need an audit of all these governors. Some of them have stolen money. I know some others who are just lobbying for projects, but they have got nothing to show in the county. We ask questions tonight. We ask question whether Natembeya is being targeted or not. We ask this important question this evening. That is Natembeya being targeted? Is Natembeya, we ask this question, is Natembeya being targeted for political reason? If you are, please make sure that you type yes, and you tell me a brief comment on why you think that Natembeya is being targeted. So our social media polls this evening is whether Natembeya is being targeted for political reasons. Yes, no, or you are not sure. Please send us your comment, and we'll be very glad to read it here on Africa 24. Remember that you have a date with your favorite leader on August 2027. August 2027, we are going for the polls, and you've got a choice. So let us rally and educate our people on who is this leader who is going to be elected by the people. But let me take you briefly to what Natembeya has done in his community. Now, key accomplishment, affirmative action compliance achieved a remarkable 45% compliance rate with affirmative action, and equal opportunity policy exceeding the required threshold of 30%. Public participation launched the governor's Kikao program, foster community engagement and to enhance transparency in governance, support marginalized communities, rolled out initiatives aimed at empowering the communities, which includes their participation in Ukombozi Kazini Mashinani initiative and plans to improve the Kipsongo area through an urban settlement program. Blah blah blah. Okay, I don't know those areas, but that is what he is done. Ukombozi School Milk Program. This program provides milk twice a week for over 43,000 early child development education (ECD) learners, funded by an allocation of 70 million Kenyan shillings. I mean, this governor is doing wonderful things. Now you can see what this governor is doing. Yeah, you can see what Natembeya is in doing a vocational training for a total of 45 million has been allocated for tuitions. So this guy is doing a wonderful job. Yes, I'm joined here by a political analyst, Jimmy, and Jimmy and I will try and take you through what is happening. Karibu sana Jimmy. Karibu sana Jimmy. How have
Thank
you
you,
been, my
Mzalendo.
brother? A long time. I thought that maybe you're already asleep, but sorry to have woken you up with a call. Now, uh, thank you for joining us and tell us where you've been, why we missed you and we missed some of your analysis. Mm.
Yes, Mzalendo, niko,
Yeah,
I'm not lost.
yeah.
Ni shughuli za hizi nchi za Ulaya,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make ends meet, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
always together with you guys, and like I always say, very proud
Mm.
of what Afrique 24 is doing. And I'm particularly interested with the topic of today,
Yeah.
but more especially it's just to enlighten ourselves and really uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to
I mean, I
trigger the
really
conversation.
yeah, I wanted us to have that conversation around what is happening in our country, and it has even extended to Tanzania right now. Kenyans have been arrested in Tanzania. We have Boniface Mwangi is in jail in Tanzania for fighting for the rights to release the opposition leader there. The other day, the president denied entry to Martha Karua. But first, let's start with the home first. This guy called Natembeya. Natembeya, the Tanzania governor, is a man under siege. Now he's been charged of graft of about 6 million, and they say that he used proxies to tender for his county at Tanzania. So he has been arrested, but he was released on a bond of 500,000. Yeah, I think it is 500,000 yesterday. So this is a man who is under siege. What do you think about the freedoms of expression that is happening in our country right now?
Well, it's quite amazing. Let's just first say the facts straight.
Mm-hmm.
What the governor, Transoya governor, is doing is what actually a replica of what every governor is doing in Kenya. It's
Mm-hmm.
like this is what they are taught when they're first elected, especially when they are newbies. They are told how the previous governors have been trying to do to recover what they have used in terms of campaigns and actually, quite honest with you, enriching themselves. But when
Mm-hmm.
we look at the bigger picture, where are they learning this from? They're learning it from Mr. Ruto, our
Mm-hmm.
president. They have known that without money, you are nobody in Kenya. Even when those like George are actually people that we look up to, that they can liberate that country. But they are learning this from the wrong person, who is our president. Now, but did you happen to see what exactly happened when they tried to, arrest him? The common man stood up
and said no.
Yeah, exactly. And it's important. That is what we are missing. It's important. What people are saying is that our first agenda for this election that is coming up is one term.
You're also saying one term.
Well, that's the people of Kenya saying. It's not me. I have one vote of one term. But that's what the people are saying. They are saying is that we don't care what the governor has done. What we care is about a governor that is speaking into the hearts of many Kenyans. And that's what we saw today. And that's what we are continuing to see going forward. Why? Because people are focused first, liberating Kenya, changing regime, and then worry about anything else second. That is what I saw in this arrest. And that is what I'm seeing across Kenya. And you see, sorry to bring these other factors in. Go to Mulima, Kenya. Mulima, Kenya, people are supporting the former second deputy president of the Republican, Rigiji. Not because they like him, but they like one term. You saw people in Kisii County. They're embracing Honorable
Matiang'i.
Why they're embracing Matiang'i? Because they like one term. So they don't care. They don't care who's going to come up. There are those who are actually embracing people like eminent Chief Justice Maraga. Why?
Now,
one term.
One term. Do you know? Let me bring you to speed. Maybe you're not aware of what happened in that issue of Maraga. Maraga was actually approached by Gen Zs that we want you to be our leader.
Yes.
And the reason why they want Maraga to be their leader is because this guy has got no criminal record. He's not tainted anywhere. And what lacks in our country is the rule of law.
Yeah.
People obeying the rule of law. So they need a leader up there who will enforce the law. People, institutions to follow the law, and people to follow the law. And you'll not run to Maraga and tell him, all these other leaders, you can run to them and tell them, nisaidie. But imagine you are caught in graft and Maraga is the president of the Republic of Kenya.
You are done.
Atakufungulia vitabu mbili. Kwanza atakufungulia Biblia na kufungulia katiba ya Kenya na kuambia sasa unataka mimi nikusaidie aje ndugu yangu. Katika hizi vitabu unataka gani ikusaidie sana?
And Mzalendo, that is why honestly we are at a point whereby Kenyans actually don't care your political history. We have people like Natembeya. We have people like Jimmy Wanjigi. We have people like the Chief Justice Maraga. We also have people like Morara. We have people like Matiang'i. So Kenyans are having a variety. What is missing?
Yes.
Is that combination for them to come up with a candidate that can face William Ruto. Now, my prediction,
Mm-hmm.
if they say divided, that will be like a 1997 election, whereby
Mm-hmm.
Moi came
Mm-hmm.
into power when he was unpopular.
Mm-hmm.
That is what is repeating in 2027. These
Mm-hmm.
people have to swallow their pride and be able to say one term,
Mm-hmm.
not two term.
Not two terms. You're absolutely right that Ruto might go for one term. But one thing somebody asked me today, a good friend of mine, he who lives in Texas, he told me, suppose that doesn't happen. Suppose he goes for another term. Yeah, yes, yeah, you are Jimmy singing one term. Suppose he goes for another term.
Mzalendo,
Yes.
I'm not singing one term. Kenyans are singing one term.
I know
What
you're not
what
singing.
what what
I
what,
know most majority
what
of Ruto is not popular on the ground. So he's fighting very hard to be popular. So
but I
suppose
gave
he
you an
wins the
example.
election.
But I
Mhm.
gave you an example. I gave you an example of 1997 when Moi was unpopular. What did he
Mhm.
do? He accepted multipartyism. He accepted all these parties. And you saw Raila Odinga, Matiba, Kina Kibaki running. And it was
Now,
easy for him to rig
now
an election.
You see what Ruto has done. He
He's
has
a
made
student
sure
of Moi.
that all these parties are following him.
Yes, but he's a student
Raila
of
is
Moi.
following him. Huh?
No, no, very soon, Ruto is going to tell Raila to go run for president, even when he knows, right?
No, no,
Even
no, no,
Raila,
not very soon. He has to. That is the only card that is remaining. Raila has to run for president, and it's not far fetched. It is something that is cooking very soon.
this will be the
Mhm.
first election that Raila is going to be running election, knowing that he's not going to win. This will be the first one. This will be an election, one of a kind.
Oh my God! You're saying Raila is running for the election and he knows that he's not going to win, and he
Because
will
it's a
insist.
part of the system, because he has learned that
Huh?
that is what it's going to take.
Oh my Jimmy, you know, if somebody who is on the other side, they hear you saying something like this, I mean, that is so. I didn't look at it that way. Raila running for an election, which he knows very well
Knowing.
that he's going to lose, just because Ruto has to win the presidency.
Exactly. When I knew that and when I came into terms with that is
Mhm.
after he lost the AU seat.
Wow.
He
Uh-huh.
was not depressed. It's like he knew he was going to lose it. And he came into terms so quick. He was so composed. Actually, he went to a vacation in Dubai. If you know that. He never came to Kenya. He went to Dubai to enjoy. The government money. This
Mm?
throughout these years when he lost election, he has always gone to Mandamano protesting it. This one he went for a vacation. That's when I knew he's done.
Wow, Olewenyu, if you're watching us, this is our Freak 24, and today we are bringing for you other details that you've never had. And you can only get this from Jimmy. Jimmy looks at politics outside the box. I don't know even if this is outside the box, but he kicks the box out completely and looks at politics in a different way. I have been in politics, but I never looked at Raila Odinga going for an election that he knows very well that he's going to lose. Uh,
Mzalendo, Kenyans know that.
Kenyans don't know that apart from you.
I'm a
You know,
Kenyan.
you are giving them information and that's why we have channels like Afrique giving you raw data about what is going to happen in 2027. So I never looked at it like, okay, somebody can go for election knowing very well that he's going to lose, but at the same time, the state going to fund him?
Now, before you
Mm?
even go to the state funding him, have you seen what Ruto is doing to the young thugs of today? Have you
No, no,
seen
no.
what Raila has instructed Kasmuel to do? Have you seen
Whoa.
what Morara is doing
Uh-huh.
currently?
Give us,
People,
bring us to speed, bring
people,
us.
people, people people have to see these things with an
Mm-hmm.
open eye.
Yes.
Okay, Ruto is a master of politics. In fact, if you want to say what we used to call Mzee Moi,
Yes.
this guy has learned the best. He has used Raila to bring together the Gen Zs using
Mm-hmm.
Kasmuel. When
Mm-hmm.
did Kasmuel, when I saw Kasmuel cascading and
Mm-hmm.
calling the president in a very long letter that he wrote to the president, that's when I knew that Raila is speaking. The next thing I
Mm-hmm.
see is you are not too young to lead. That's a Ruto agenda.
That's a
That's a
route
Ruto
agenda.
agenda. You are not too young to lead. He's trying to bring the GNC using Caswell and Raila. And so the young thugs, for the first time
Mm-hmm.
since 25th of June
Mm-hmm.
of last year, for the first time,
Yes.
you saw them having a crowd. That
Yes.
was not organic. No, that was a paid crowd. That was not
Ah.
organic.
Uh-huh.
That was a paid crowd. Why? The
Uh-huh.
youth knew there would be no tear gas. The youth knew there was no arrest. The youth knew that they would come and then sing, even when they don't believe in two term.
Uh-huh.
What you saw there was a one term, but
Mm-hmm.
a crowd that is not organic, a crowd that is paid to deliver
A crowd
message.
that has been paid. Jimmy, what you are saying is that Kasmuel is already on the government payroll, Morara's government payroll. All these young people who are coming in leadership, they're already in the government payroll.
It is, that is something that anybody can see, even someone who has not gone to school, they can see that
And for
very
the
clear.
first time, they held a meeting and there were no tear gas, there were no running battles.
They didn't even have to pay for the venue. There was
They
no
didn't even have to
opposition.
book. They didn't even have to book the venue.
No, there was no opposition. Everything was merry-go. Everything was happy. When have you ever seen? In fact, every meetings Morara has been invited, he has been scared going to those meetings because of arrest.
Yeah, we
That
have
is,
to. You have to arrange for his security and the things
yes,
like that to attend those meetings. But, but
yeah.
but
So
anyway, I think they're playing with our psychology. They think that Kenyans are very dumb and stupid. We have been in this journey long enough before Kina Morara and Kina Samuel. We know we walked this walk, and we know when somebody has been bought. We know when somebody is playing around with your mind, and I told them, you know, when you see the government not interested in your activity, they have
then you
already
know you are in the
sorted
table.
you out. They have already sorted you out, bwana. When you see them interested in Natembea, the way they are interested in Natembea, they have not sorted him out.
Exactly.
He is their
Exactly.
next target. Is their next target.
Yes.
They want him
Yes.
to bend down, and then they sort
Mhm.
him out. When they see them running
The-
battles with Gashagua, they are
mm,
yet to sort him out.
that is
But
right.
when you see
That
Natembea
is the
walking,
script.
that is the script bwana. Serikali tunawajua bwana, hii
Mm,
script tunajua. EACC, look at a body
yes.
like EACC, Jimmy. This EACC is a body that was supposed to investigate graft. There are so many governors and so many people who are stealing money in government,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
EACC cannot do anything.
Mhm.
Natembea was voted as the best governor, performing governor in Kenya. I think he
Mhm.
was number 2 or number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been voted number 2 or number 1. And this time round, they're saying that this guy is indeed a thief. Eh?
That's the irony.
But do
That
you,
is
do
the
you know the
irony.
fear? What does the government fear on Natembea?
Well, definitely, your guess is as good as mine. Natembea, if you look at his history, he has um, a big chunk of his public life
Mm.
in the security forces. So he knows how Kenya operates. But the most important thing that they fear is if when you look at Ruto, of late he has been into Western. And
Yes.
Western, for a very long time, Western has been voting for Raila. Save it for 2022 because of Musalia and Wetangula personal interest. But Ruto knows with Raila on his side, he can be able to flip the Western votes. But I want to predict something, and which you're going to vindict me very soon. Wetangula is going to be kicked out. Let that Wetangula, the speaker, is going to be kicked out.
Replaced by who? That's opening so many wars.
Replaced by a Luo, a Raila person.
No,
friend.
no, that one I can tell you, that one cannot happen, Jimmy. You know why?
Let me tell you something.
Finish,
we are live on the show.
Yes, we are live. We are live. We are live.
I want you to bring me in the next 2-3 weeks. You're going to see Wetangula going home, my friend. This is intel. I'm telling you. Wetangula is going.
Nyumbani.
Wetangula is going home.
You know, you surprised me. That's why I said
you're going to see this.
Now, where did you get this whole idea that Wetangula anaenda nyumbani?
This is intel.
Lawyers will not tolerate that.
You know, it's not about lawyers now. It's about Raila.
Yes.
It's about Raila. They are trying to win the Luo votes. And whether Wetangula is there or not, lawyers are going to be voting for the block of Kenya Kwanza. So President Ruto has invested a lot of money in Western.
Yes.
And that's say leaving it Raila to control the Luo vote from Nyanza. And those Luo votes are a guaranteed vote for Raila. So if Raila can influence the Luyas through Oparanya and the other Musalia and this guy Kotu guy, he's okay to leave that speaker's position to a Luo person who is close to Raila. And that person, I'm going to name it for you in the next show that I'll come. I'm still verifying the person, but that person is going to be a Luo speaker.
Oh, like Otiende Amolo. I can only think of Otiende Amolo.
You're almost close. He's one of the people mentioned.
Or maybe a lady, I don't know. But no, man, I don't think Wetangula is a pushover the way you are trying to put him down. He's not that a pushover. And let me tell you, the reason why this cannot happen, this is my opinion, is that right now William Ruto's government is clamping down on dissidents, in quotes, like Natembeya. And one reason is the Luya vote. The Luya vote is number 2 in Kenya after the Kikuyu. Now, if there is a leader who is trying to consolidate the Luya vote, it is Natembeya. Mudavadi and Wetangula, despite having the power, they have not tried as much as Natembeya is trying to consolidate the Luya vote. They have the power, and they have not been talking about the Luya unity.
That is why Wetangula is going home.
Strange. They have not been talking about the Luya unity. And finally, there is somebody who is talking about the Luya unity that the government is waking up and saying, wow, no, this guy is moving towards the wrong direction. Yeah. And we have people here who are occupying offices and they're doing nothing about it. But I think a better sacrifice would be Mudavadi.
Well, you are very right. But the position Mudavadi is holding,
there
is no Luo person who fit that other than Raila.
Yeah,
So
why
the
can't
best
he?
position,
Yes.
the best position for them to give up is the powerful position of the speaker.
And
Give it to the Luos.
and where do they take Wetangula? Because he has to be reappointed, maybe a cabinet secretary or something.
That is why they have not taken him out, because they are negotiating with him where they are taking him.
Oh, already this negotiation is going. Oh, guy, you can only get this is in Africa. I'm telling you, already
they don't know where they're going to be
taking.
Remember, this thing started earlier, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
There was a rumor that Wetangula is going.
Yeah.
Remember that
There was
time
just
when
rumor.
Emilio Odhiambo was supposed to replace Silvanus Osoro, and
Yes,
somebody else
things
was
like that. Because here and then Ikaisha.
Ikaisha.
Mm-hmm.
That thing has come up again. And I am telling you this, you are going to tell me this, Wetangula is the next sacrifice that they are going to give. Even when, by the way, Wetangula is more powerful in Western than Musalia Mudavadi.
Wow. Wow. Hey, viewers, I can see so many people watching us from Tembei TV. Eric Kaberia, Joseph Elijah, and Charles Ondieki. Karibuni sana, good morning, wherever you are. And this is Africa 24. We are analyzing the issue of Natembeya. Is he a target of the state? And why is he being targeted? We are asking this question here on Africa. If you have not subscribed on Africa 24, please make sure that you do subscribe on Africa. And our question this evening is, so far we were asking on the social media. The question is Natembeya being targeted for political reasons? 72%, 73 already are saying yes, no 15%, and others who are not sure at 12%. So that is a big question that we're asking this evening. And please send your comments. Make sure that you've subscribed to Africa so that we can read your comments here on Africa. If you're watching us from Tembei and hapo Africa, now make sure nitakutumia link hapo, and you make sure that you subscribe on our channel. We moto sana Jimmy, hii swali hivi tumeleta leo hivi tumeleta leo bana, hizi ni za maajabu. Now Wetangula anaenda nyumbani. Wetangula, kama mnasikia, poleni sana. Liwere inaitwaje wimbo yao Luya? Anaenda nyumbani. Akienda nyumbani is being replaced by a Luo.
The funny part is, and I don't know how we are going to tackle this. Our young guy, Peter Salasia.
Oh yeah, yes, Salasia has become rogue. He's running up and down. Hii pesa ametoa wapi?
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that, but we're talking about George Natembeya. When you're looking at that, and I don't know this because I don't have the facts. I can only speculate that this guy has also been.
Let's go on.
Has been tapped by this guy's government, and the reason why I'm saying that Salasia.
Oh yeah.
The reason why I'm saying that his party leader Eugene Wamalwa was not really. He didn't come out strong to defend him after these attacks, and there's a reason why he didn't do that. It tells me that the intelligence that his party leader, the DAK, the DAP, realizes something that is fishy with his ultimate decision to run for presidency. Because you can't run for presidency when
and
your
you have
party
a party leader
who is running also for presidency. That's a conflict of interest. And that's a sign.
Jimmy, hii akili yote umetoa wapi? In fact unafaa kuwa ukujagi hapa Afrika kila siku. kaga tuko pale huko, nikikuita unatoa hii akili umetoa wapi?
No,
While
no,
you are
no.
yani, I did all these things. I've never, you know, for the first time you are an edge over me in terms of analyzing the politics the way it is. I never
No,
thought, I never
uh-huh,
thought at any given point that, okay, Salasia has got a party leader who is called Eugene Wamalwa, who has
mhm.
not
It was a
declared that
principle.
he is running for
Mhm.
presidency, and he has gone against Eugene Wamalwa to declare himself as the president, as a
But
candidate for presidency.
wait, Mzalendo. You're
Hmm?
saying Eugene has not declared running for presidency. No,
Yes.
let me remind you.
Hmm.
Fred Matiang'i has not declared running for presidency. Okay?
Yes.
Martha Karua has not officially declared running for presidency.
Yes.
Kalonzo, we know he has declared running for presidency.
Yes.
This guy called Gachagua Rigathi
Hmm.
has not declared
No,
that
no,
he's
no.
running
He's
for
not. He's not
presidency.
running even. Yeah.
He has not declared. So why
Yes.
would you say Eugene Wamora has not declared? All of these people that I've mentioned, they have launched their parties, but they have not said that they're officially running for presidency. So I am assuming that Eugene Wamarwa, Rigiji, Fred Matiang'i, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, they're all running for presidency. That's what I assume. What the question is, why would Peter Selassie, who is a member of parliament under Eugene Wamarwa's party, declaring that he's going to be running for presidency and daring to launch it?
Wow. Why? Peter Salasia, kama unatusikiza, wacha kutudanganya. Kuja hapo ujibu hizi maswali. And we don't know which party, which party you are running on, or you are running as an independent. We have not known that. But the other day he was really harassed and arrested, which was, I think, was stage managed. So many people say that that is stage managed. Please spare us this theatrics. And just the other day, he showed us his pay slip, ana kitu, and all of a sudden he has got money to run around in the country. Bwana, yani Kenya bwana. Ai, watu kata kama sisi ni wajinga bwana, tuwezi kuwa wajinga hivyo. Hmm?
Yeah, those
Hatuwezi
are
kuwa
things
wajinga.
people
Hmm?
need to think outside the box, and
Yeah,
those are
okay.
small
But
things that.
these candidates, these young people who are taking other young people for a ride, the young people who went on the streets really know. I listened to one guy called Ndwiga. I don't. He's from Naururu. This young man articulated what they really want, and he said, you know, we looked at all these candidates uh, in the arena, and we got one person called Maraga. He was not interested in the presidency, but we convinced him to run for the presidency, and that is the guy the Gen Zs apparently are going to support. Yeah, the guy called Maraga. But that is the guy the Gen Zs are going to support because they are not with Matiangi. I thought they were with Matiangi, but not really with Matiangi. Then
You know,
Matiangi launched his bid for the presidency, and he disappeared.
he well, wait a minute. He did not launch. Okay,
He's
Matiang'i.
written no. He said he's
No,
vying for the
no,
presidency.
no. He did not say that. He did not
What
say
did he
that.
say then?
What he
Why
said,
was that
what
pomp
no,
and
no,
color
no,
in
no, no,
Kisi?
no. Mzalendo, what he did is a very simple thing, a simple gesture. He went to Kisii and
To his
Nyamira
people?
County
Mhm.
and asked them if they want him to run for presidency. That's what he asked them. And the
Yes.
people of Nyamira and Kisii said yes. Then he asked them,
Mhm.
now, would you allow me to go back to World Bank like a gentleman like I am,
Mhm.
ask them to relieve my duties in an honorable way, and then I'll come back? He never mentioned that he's running for presidency. He was very categorical in his words.
So he's likely going to come back and say, my boss has said that Ikitu,
No. Yes,
no,
where's that? There
they,
you go.
they still need me. So
Yes.
I think William Ruto atakuwa amecheza mchezo hapo. Atakuwa amecheza kama yeye
No,
hapa.
it won't be not this. It won't be William Ruto kucheza hii mchezo. Remember, and let us just face it. Matiang'i is a very unique candidate. Unique in two ways. Unique in what you just said a few minutes ago, that the GNCs wanted him. In fact, June 25th of last year, I was in Kenya. I just landed a day before Mandamano. And when this Mandamano was happening, I was in the heart of Nairobi, CBD, Moi Avenue. Those tear gas nilizikula na watoto wangu. They actually, I was very happy, by the way. They got to experience the tear gas for the first time. But in that environment, the GNC was singing Matiang'i. That is June 25th of 2024. The GNC wanted Matiang'i. Matiang'i has taken long to even answer the GNC call. Matiang'i is unique in the second way, this way. He's wanted with the experiment, which is Huru. Even Gachagua himself wants Matiang'i. But Gachagua does not know what this guy called Ruto, one term, would allow him to run, because he is actually dependent on the courts. The courts are Ruto at the moment. The thing that is making it so complicated for Wamunyoro is because Ruto may decide Matiang'i is so popular, I would not want to bring Wamunyoro, because Wamunyoro is only going to support Matiang'i. I would not have achieved my thing. Ruto will wish Matiang'i runs and Wamunyoro runs, so that Matiang'i can divide both the Kikuyu vote with Wamunyoro and take the Kisii votes, because the Kisii votes may be very insignificant for Ruto.
But I don't think Wamunyoro, the Kikuyus are interested in the presidency. I really don't. That would be too much for them. The way the politics is going, they're not even interested. They're eyeing after maybe 2020, after this election that is coming. So after 2027, they can talk about the future. Yeah.
Do you know? Okay, what do you think? Okay, I know you just said Kikuyus are not interested in
from what I've read, from what I've been saying.
Okay, that's true, and that is true. True in the sense that they don't have a candidate.
They don't have. They don't have a candidate. And they don't. Even if they had a candidate, they don't see him beating Ruto without the support of another tribe. They're doing their calculations well.
But how about a Jimmy Wanjigi and George Natembeya? That's another rumor that I've heard.
Jimmy,
how about that?
If Jimmy runs for presidency, Jimmy is also from the political establishment. You know
one? Which one? Wait.
Jimmy has been in the system.
Where?
Since his father is the late Jimmy Wanjigi.
Yes.
His father. He was a minister in Kenyatta's government. He was a leader in Kenyatta. He was a minister in Moi's government. He came all this way. The wealth that Jimmy enjoys today is as a result of his father. The wealth that is enjoying. Wait a minute. The wealth that is enjoying today is a result of his connection in government. tenders.
Yes,
These are
there you
tenderpreneurs.
there yes, and every do you know this guy was given, and I can't say exactly. I think it was a railroad or something like that. He was given billions to do that project, and he never took a coin. Did it to completion 100%. Do you know that?
Now, the fact that it was not in public domain, I don't know it until you mentioned it. It is not something that is in the public. So this
So
some of these tenders are given in secrecy. So this is
that
one
that
of
was that was no secrecy.
no, which company of his did that tender?
I will
No, okay, fine. Let me give you the benefit of doubt. Let us just say, okay, he did it in perfectly and all that. But remember, this is the guy who told us that he will not give William Ruto the sword. The sword is in his custody, in his house. Yeye ndiye ameweka hiyo sword ya power. Ama mnasahau aje haraka?
you know those are propaganda. That
Huh?
sword is not
Do you know
is
some
not
people believed that
uh,
Jimmy has actually? I almost believe that Jimmy has got that sword,
no.
only to be told that Do you know what happens to that sword?
Mm-mm.
That sword of power.
Yeah.
Do you know where inaendaga wapi after ishapeana rais?
I don't know, but I would assume it should be actually in the
Have
state
you ever
house.
imagined where that sword goes?
It should be in the state house. That's where it belongs.
No,
Hmm.
that sword is actually not in state house. That sword
Okay.
goes back to the jeshi, amri jeshi mkuu pale. They are the custodians. So
Okay.
hao ndio naiwe juu lazima
Wanaiweka. Yeah.
ilindwe.
Uh,
So the president is the symbol, but that sword inakaa huko. So inakaa huko DOD somewhere. So for Jimmy to start telling people that he has that sword na yeye ndiye atapea. Do you know, I
you
almost
know,
believe. Do you know, there's some things Kenyan
you know.
politicians say, and then you are like,
This is
okay, this thing could be true.
this
Hmm?
this is one thing. This is one thing you Mzalendo that we fail to understand.
Hmm.
When you see Raila, you should see Jimmy Wanjigi on the shadow. You should see Mashalia, this
Hmm.
citizen guy, on the shadow. Those are big financiers for Raila. And
Hmm.
if we have been believing in Raila's presidency, and if we've been claiming that Raila has won before this
Yes.
presidency,
Hmm.
then Jimmy Wanjigi and Mashalia should be a big factor in Raila's success. That's one
Hmm.
thing we fail to understand and give these guys credit. So, very late, and actually, okay, you know what? Why
Hmm.
was Jimmy Wanjigi at Natembea's court hearing today? Why Jimmy Wanjigi's running mate, Wakili Willis, is the one representing Netambaya?
I think Jimmy has been involved in a lot of activism kind of politics, and even Willis is an activist kind of lawyer. So you'll see them all over in these cases that involve political leaders. When Okiya Mtata was arrested, he was there. When the JNZs were arrested, he was there. So when Martha Karua had got issues, he was there. So a lot of these uh, lawyers who are activists, they will actually represent Natabea pro bono. Yeah. So one thing that you raised that I need you to tell the general public once again is that I asked you a question earlier on before we began the show. Is that is Raila Odinga running for presidency in 2027?
I am very much conflicted
Mm-hmm.
on that thought, but listening to a lot of people and listening to uh, Raila's mouthpieces,
Mm-hmm.
it does look like that Raila may be a spoiler candidate to divide if they see that this opposition elite have been united and they are taking Luo Nyanza votes from William Ruto, they may force Raila to run. It is a tactic that's why I said Raila may be running for presidency for the first time, believing that he's going to be losing. And so, meaning there will be no mandamano. Like when Raila loses, in fact, this is the first election that we are going to be having a runner that neither candidates will have 50 plus 1. In other words, they have to go the second. This is the first one. And that is what Ruto wants.
What I was anticipating, if Wamunyoro and the group go head to head with the William Ruto, and the government manages maybe to steal the elections, then what they can agree upon is to divide the government into two, like the arrangements we had in 2007. So Munyoro's anticipation that it will be chaotic is absolutely right, and this is some of the pointers Kofi Annan had put to Kenyans, that if they don't resolve the issues that they have around the elections, then 2007 will be like a Christmas party. That is what Wamanyoro was saying. Yeah, and that is in the national accord. They needed to have solved the issue of IBC perfectly. They needed to have solved the issue of the land issue. They needed to have solved the issue of recruitment. If you look at the civil service today, majority who are in the civil service are either from the president's tribe, yeah, in almost all the parastatals, and from Mominyoro, who was then. But I think people from Mominyoro's tribe have been sacked, or maybe their contracts not renewed. So this is what the National Accord was talking about. So I see a situation where tutakuwa na shida.
And just to add on that, when if you have watched keenly, none of these oppositions have problems with whoever who is being chosen to be the IBC chairperson.
Yeah.
And the reason why they're not interested in that, they have realized that they have no say. And you and I can be able to see that from the recent recommendation. There was a lady recommended,
yeah,
and Charles Nyachai recommended. Those were the two. Where this guy from Turkana came from, nobody has an idea. So what does that tells you is that Ruto has already programmed the 2027 election. So because there's no point of you bringing a commission or the interim team to interview candidates, and then this interview panel brings you two names that they recommend for you to choose from. Then you end up choosing from without.
Jimmy, hii akili yote ulitoa wapi bana? There's one thing about you that I've told you. If it is that drink that you've been drinking, continue drinking it on my bill.
It's 199. It is.
Yeah, you see, Amadi and Nyachai, for viewers at home, Amadi and the lady Amadi and Nyachai were the ones who were shortlisted. And in my head, when Matiang'i came, I said, okay, Matiang'i has spoiled for Nyachai being the IBC chair. Now it'll be looked at like he'll be kicked out. Now, oh my God, Matiang'i should not have come. Nyachai would have probably got this position. And now this Amadi, this guy has got the lucrative position, which he was not shortlisted in. Did he apply? Okay, let's start from there. Did he even apply?
You do that assignment and tell me. But here's the thing: even if he had applied, here's the thing, though. Amadi is a Raila candidate.
Yes.
Ruto does not trust Raila, for one. Ruto's candidate was Nyachai. But somehow, this Ruto knew Matiang'i may not come to Kenya to even do the goosey thing he did.
Mm.
And this is why I'm saying this. Matiang'i may not be on the ballot, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Matiang'i may not be on the ballot, even when
No,
he's the favorite
yeah.
candidate.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can run a serious
He's a
presidential
coward.
campaign.
He
No,
is a coward.
he's not. He doesn't have that charisma of a political leader. He's a technocrat. Just give it.
There you go.
He is
Mhm.
a
That
technocrat.
is where he's good
Matiang'i is
at.
not a
Yeye ni
politician.
mchapakazi. When you listen to him speaking
Yeye
Wamnyoro,
umwambie yeye umwambie hey, we kuwa hata prime cabinet secretary hizo,
he will
ama
do better.
umwambie he can be somebody's running mate, yes, to learn the ropes of politics,
Yeah,
but
he's royal.
he's not your usual politician.
Mm-mm,
I don't see Matiang'i
politician
abusing.
nataka mtu kama Gachagua.
There you go.
Yeah.
Huo ni mtu wa siasa, huo ni
Natembea.
na kida anatembea, people who would answer you
They don't
unaambia
have to think.
you don't have to think. Matiang'i ataanza kutumia logic hapo, aseme
Matiang'i will
you
want to
know,
be nice.
he wants to be nice also, and he wants to reason, and siasa itaki kwa watu una reason sana, hapana.
Sasa
Look
nataka
here,
mtu kama Moi, mtu kama actually Trump.
bas angalia Donald Trump yani lazima kuwe na ujinga ingine tu hapo kwa hii siasa, unakuwa tu mjinga fulani. People like Maraga, I don't see them. Hebu niambie sasa atakampenaje na Ruto bwana? Okay,
That's the
tumeenda
problem. That is the problem. Hiyo ndio shida.
Umeenda kule mashinani papu, where people want to hear sera zako ziko vipi?
You know, Maraga when he speaks in Kisii, people tell him politely that wewe ni mzee, tunakuheshimu, tafadhali wacha kidogo tu for this guy Matiang'i. There are people who have favors that don't know how to use those favors, and one of them is Matiang'i from nowhere.
Matiang'i is favored. Is really favored to, but Matiang'i can learn. He can learn, and he can also be ruthless.
We are going to be having a conversation with him. He is actually coming to Texas in a few weeks. End month or early next month. I'm yet to get his perspective, more especially get from him that is he really running, and if he is, then he needs professionals in his team to advise him on how to kickstart his campaign. He has no room.
Why would he print t-shirts? Why would he print kofias and all that is running and is not running?
He has not printed, my friend.
No, they are you. I can show you.
No, my mzalendo bwana. Matiang'i has not printed anything. Those are people who are printed, just like you and I can print.
Oh, people who have volunteered. Wacha tumtengeneze kofia zake.
Yeah, he has not done anything. He has not done anything to that extent. He has not.
Anyway, Eli Toto is enjoying our show. Good debate. Thank you, Eli. Thank you, and make sure that you subscribe on Afrique 24 if you're watching us from Mutembei. Karibu sana Afrique. Make sure that subscribe so that you can be part of this discussion. And if you have time, unaweza ruka hapa juu pia usikie siasa iko namna gani. This is also where you polish your political knowledge and debating skill when you meet people like Jimmy Okangi, somebody who speaks the truth, and you're Mr. Truthful Man from Texas. Gachagua alikudunga ile shindano gani hii bwana?
Mimi mzalendo, I'm a patriot, and I look siasa with an open mind. I'm not fixated at a specific candidate. All I want is anybody who can say one term. One term, because one term.
Oh, one term. One term inaweza kuwa two term. Hey, boss.
That's perfectly fine, by the way.
Yeah.
We have no, one thing I need you to understand. Nobody has issues with the presidency of Ruto.
Yeah.
People have problems with Ruto as a person, not as a president.
Unajua saa zingine mi naonia Ruto huruma because he's trying to do all the right things but imekataa.
What do you mean right things? Why is he going to launch Mukuru housing, something which was launched with Uhuru? That was not his idea, my friend.
Mkuru kwa Njega bwana, ni Ruto ndiye amejenga hizo manyumba bwana. No, nyumba 10, hii nyumba 10 ya Uhuru.
My friend,
This one I saw it. I saw it when
I will forward you the clip, okay, of Uhuru launching it, okay, akiongea hapo, how that project is going to be beneficial.
I remember. Listen, I remember these ODM supporters then castigating that project, and they brought a propaganda. And this guy who was walking in garbage and saying umelaunch nini hapa na kuna takataka na vitu mingi hapa. I saw that clip. I saw that clip, and Pope Leo, I see him here. He was one of the people who were really insulting the president then about that project. That there's nothing that has been launched there. Bado watu wanaishi kwa nyumba za karatasi. I remember that clip going round.
So sasa, why are we giving credit Ruto when the credit should be given to the person who actually launched that project? These are all former presidents' initiatives. I am yet to see Ruto's project that are successfully launched, not even completed, launched. Tell me one, Mzalendo. Niambie moja. The Hustler Fund iliungua.
Hustler Fund ili collapse. Unaona hizo all those good ideas ilikufa.
And the housing fund that was Uhuru's original idea, Ruto is using it to steal money. Nothing more.
The housing fund is a continuation of Nyumba Kumi, the one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Nyumba Kumi. It had a name. So hiyo ilikuwa that's an extension of Uhuru's projects. Now that is true. And Shah is not really working properly. From what people
not really working properly. It's not working. Okay, I don't know why we are saying it's not working properly. It's not working. The NSIF was working much better. You never had issues with it. If it doesn't, what they say? They say if it's not broken, don't fix it.
If not broken, don't fix it. I don't know why they jumped into this new
because of his advisors.
Program.
Because of his advisors.
No, I understand they're doing a lot of renovation in Ikulu. Wanafanya renovation Harambee.
How many times have they done that renovation?
Manyundo zinapiga hapo, manyundo zinapiga kazi sana huko.
Ya kuiba. Ya kuiba.
Haya,
Jimmy. Before you cut me short, the money they have spent in renovation, they may as well just build a new state house.
Oh, by the way, they can just build a new state house. Yani tukuwe na state house mbili. Tukuwe na state house mbili.
Wabomoe hata ile waweke hiyo moja hivi kama ndiye anataka ya one term.
Ama watengeneze ikuwe story, iende mpaka juu. I don't know where Kenyans are so obsessed with buildings.
Hawezi weka mpaka juu kwa sababu ikiweka juu pale atachukuliwa one term juu. So he is very careful.
Hiyo ni maoni yako Jimmy.
Inaenda chini. Yeah. It's deeper down than up.
Okay, guys. Okay, Jimmy bana, nice having you in the show. But anyway, I need you to comment on one thing before we leave. Hii mambo ya Samia Suluhu wa Tanzania. This lady is just becoming another one.
No. I may sound vibaya, but I have to say it like it is. You know, first of all, that was very wrong for her to do that. One, because those were activists that came from Kenya, and they were not only activists; those were presidential candidates, and more so, a lady presidential candidate that she deported. That does not go well. Okay, in the African um, problem in trying to bring women into leadership. That was wrong for her to do that. A lady president deporting a lady candidate for presidency from a neighboring country. That was wrong. There will be there had to be a better way of her trying to do that, because I know that was politics and she did not want. You know, one thing you should know, Tanzanians, and I happen to grow up in Mombasa, by the way. And in Mombasa, I deal with, you know, the Digos and the rumors, and part of those people, they are also from Tanzania, or they have heritages from Tanzania. So they're not people usually Tanzanians, even when, in fact, if you have Tanzanians friends here, hawako maneno mengi kama wa Kenya. Tanzanians are well mellowed down. They, you know, ni watu walifundishwa na Nyerere first, not about money but about unity. So wako na hiyo utoefu. So Suluhu hataki watu kama Martha Karua and the activists in the name of Mwangi in Tanzania. Why? They will bring that toughness from Kenya to Tanzanians. And if I have to remind you also, you saw in the last election in Uganda, there were Kenyans who went to Uganda to vote against. So
Wakenya wanajituma.
Suluhu had already had intelligence that Kenyans have gone to Uganda trying to take off Museveni, and he saw this coming also to where? To, and remember, Martha Karua is a lawyer for Bisinje in Uganda.
She's already there this morning.
She's already there. She did not want, that was a wrong say, that was a wrong way of acting. There would have been a better way of silencing those activists without creating the scene that she created today. I would say that she acted low and probably would need to be advised on how, because she actually made many people know that these people are already there. Some of us would have even not noticed that they had gone to Tanzania. That was wrong.
You're so right. Thank you, Jimmy. The Constitution guaranteed fairness, equality before the law, and freedom from all political persecutions. That is what the Constitution guarantees. But Kenyans have taken it to another notch. They are tired of waiting for 2027. They are going to the nearest election to participate in preparation for 2027. In rehearsal too, wanaenda huko ma rehearsals. Kenyans are rehearsing. Guys, if you've not subscribed to Afrique 24, please make sure that you do subscribe to Afrique 24. I see Janet Pradret. Janet, karibu sana. Leo Pop Nyabaya, asante sana. Eti Eli Toto, thank you very much. Good morning, Evans. Dan Kafu, good morning. Eric Kaberia, Joseph Elijah, and Charles Ondieki. Karibuni sana Afrique, and wengi wale wanatuwatch kutoka kule Mtembei and they have not subscribed on Afrique 24. Make sure that you do subscribe. This show is normally for 1 hour. I had the privilege of hosting the one and only Jimmy Okanga. Now this guy sijui ana shoot kutoka wapi. And today he was breathing fire. Jimmy, your final remarks.
Well, my final remarks is first of all to encourage and appreciate people like you who are bringing the voice of the voiceless to be heard. It's a very important civic duty that you guys do. This does not just go unnoticed. It's something that we value and we want to encourage. But also, to tell our brothers that when
Mm-hmm.
we don't come together, when we don't
Mm.
share these little things that we share here, we tend to
Mm.
be victims. And none of us want to be a victim. We need to come together and we need
Mm.
to actually focus. And our focus right now, especially when I speak for Kenya, our focus right now is one term. We do not want to make a mistake of what we did. Where choices have consequences.
Wow.
And if you can imagine, Mzalendo, this
Mm-hmm.
is a this is the first term. What will happen if we give him a two term? It will be a disaster. We have to make sure that this is a one term and that's the only agenda. After one term, then we'll sit down and think about what we want to do for Kenya. But we must get rid of Ruto. Not because we hate him, but we hate his policies that have driven Kenya 20 years behind from where we had
Oh.
Moi.
Uh-huh.
We actually craving for Kibaki. We don't not want to go back to Moi's time. We want to go to actually, if he can take us to a Kibaki, that would be good. But he has taken us way back, and we don't want to go there. That's why I'm urging everyone that has not been able to vote before.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we are making it possible for people in California to vote in California, for people in Texas to vote in Texas, people in eh, New York, they already have polling station there. They need to turn up in good numbers. So what it is important now is to make sure that you are registered as a voter. If you don't have an ID, in fact, I'm yet to verify this. I hate to say this, but I'm yet to verify that IDs are free right
Yeah,
now.
it's free right
It
now.
is free. Thank you for
Yes.
verifying that. So
Mm.
if you are a Gen Z, please make sure that you get your ID now because it's free. After you get your ID, register to be a voter because the only way you can make sure that we have change in Kenya is through the ballot. We are a democratic country that believe in one vote, one man. So if you don't have your vote, then you are wasting your time. This is the best time for you to start first by having your ID, and second by registering, and third by making sure you go cast that vote. And when you cast that vote, make sure you take a picture and share it in social media. The power is in
Wow.
social media.
All right. All right. We end on that wonderful note. Make sure that you pick your ID in your nearest county government offices. I don't know whether they are still there available in each and every county, or in the previous years we used to get it from the DC's office where I grew up in. We
They
used to
used
get
to
it
come to
from,
school.
and in some cases they used to come to school. But now, if you're not able, make sure that you find your way to Duma Center, register Nini, and then you will find where to get your ID. Jimmy says it is one term. It is up to you there who is saying two term. Kumi bila break, hiyo ni shauri yako. But here, Jimmy is telling you the people in the diaspora this time round will vote in California, even Texas, even DC. The ballot boxes are coming there and you will cast your vote. The message is clear. In Kenya today, development alone is not enough. If
And
you
and
refuse
and
to. Hmm?
Mzalendo, I also failed to mention, actually, we are working very hard. We may actually be able to have a unique number that you can be able to vote from your phone, by the way, in
Yeah,
this election.
I saw something like that.
It
We will
is.
I will bring for you the details of it. I saw that being launched by I can't remember his name, but I saw it. I saw him launching that unique voting app that you can just vote wherever you are remotely, and
That,
your
that,
vote
that,
will be counted.
that
Hmm?
that is what we are working on, among other
I
kiosk.
am telling you, William Ruto's government will not agree with it, to that kind of technology. Wataleta shida that this thing can be hacked, this thing can be done what? Suppose it fails, lazima kuwe na shida. If you refuse to conform, the system reacts. The people of Kenya must ask themselves, is the state power being used to kandamiza watu? Yeah.
But you see, the funny part is that a lot of these people that I'm working with, they are
Mm.
pro Ruto, by the way. That's the funny
They're
part. That's the funny part. And yeah, that's the funny part. They are pro Ruto, by the way. And one thing Ruto wants is to make sure that there are so many voters. That's why he has opened the Somalia borders to bring Somalians in, to bring IDs. But it's gonna work against him. That's one thing he doesn't know.
Oh
That
yeah,
if
because these
we
are people who, yeah, you think that these are people who are going to vote for you, then all of a sudden, there are
yes,
people who are looking at your progress, and they are looking at how people are voting, the voting pattern, and the influence the young people are having over them, and that there you go, you
you
lose.
you you see the diaspora vote is
Hmm?
not a vote that you can just swear in the way you think you can swear in. These are people who are educated, these are people who are informed, these are people who have their conscience is right. So if votes were held today, believe you me, in the diaspora, Ruto will not win. In the diaspora, as far as the votes in diaspora, Ruto will not win. It will go to Matiang'i, it will go to Natembea, it will go even to Jimmy Wanjigi, it will even go to Gachagua, by the way. That's how bad it is. This is a block that has been for Raila, and it is not in Raila's favor, neither is it in Ruto's favor.
Oh, wow. All right, I think we end on that particular note. If we continue, bado tutaongea hapa sana. Let me just put this to Kenyans back at home. If you refuse to conform, the system reacts. The people of Kenya must ask themselves, is it state power being used to uplift the nation or to silence the voices of the people? That's your homework, and that's your burden as citizens. Good night from Africa.